I'm going to show you the quickest, most efficient way to pitch your own tent. Avert your eyes, children. Oh, Christ.
Today we're going to be talking about doomed camping trips. So one of my favourite subgenres is camping movies. They should be the best weekends of your life. You go away somewhere with your friends, you chuck up a tent, you tell tales around the fire, but something always goes wrong. And I jump on these movies, Jenks. Every time there's a camp movie, I absolutely jump on it.
Yes. So my first one is Backcountry. Came out 2014. It's actually a true story. It's got two characters. You got a boyfriend and girlfriend, Alex and Jen. They go on a camping trip into the wilderness.
Jenks, they're not characters. They're real people. It's based on real people. Don't call them characters.
Well, I'll go.
This
into
is
that.
someone's story.
So the boyfriend wants to go off trail because he's a bit macho and he says he doesn't need a map. She's very reluctant, and spoiler alert, they get lost and the boyfriend gets mauled by a bear. And if you think if you think Leonardo DiCaprio had it rough in The Revenant, oh my God, this guy gets his face ripped clean off. It is absolutely brutal. And the rest of the movie plays out as a survival with her trying to fight this bear. We're not literally just trying to escape the bear. And it's pretty straightforward, but it's really good, very visceral. The actual true story is that she was mauled and he's on the run. Mm-hmm. But it's probably, I think they just wanted a final, more sympathetic girl. Yeah. Have you seen this one?
Yeah, multiple times. Funnily enough, I rewatched it a few weeks back. I showed it to my girlfriend. And what I like about this one is that it isn't a movie about a bear. It's a movie about getting lost in the woods, but it just so happens to be one of the most disgusting bear maulings you'll ever see. Great little slow burn, proper unsettling. Once you realise that they're in trouble and they have that argument on top of the rock where he kind of says like, well, I didn't bring a map because I thought I didn't need one. Great film.
And I think the moral of the story is don't fuck with black bears. You know, they're pretty nails.
No bears. No bears.
Yeah.
Right, so my first pick, I'm going for 2008's Eden Lake. Now, I know this is a really popular one amongst horror fans. I still feel like not enough people have seen it. It's a really early 2000s British thriller horror.
It's horrible.
You've got a couple. You've got Michael Fassbender and his wife or fiancée, whatever. They're going to go out and have a nice little camping trip by the lake. And they get to the lake and there's a group of kids. Amongst them is a dog and they're playing music and, you know, doing usual teenage things. And where this movie goes from there, you would never expect it because Michael Fassbender goes over there and just, you know, tells them to keep the music down. And it kind of starts a little rivalry back and forth. And they just end up being the worst kids in movie history. You've got Jack O'Connell, who's kind of the leader of the kids. Could have been his first foray into playing a villain. And obviously you've got him playing Remick in the new movie Sinners.
Yep.
If you thought his villain in Sinners was sinister, go and watch Eden Lake because he is horrible in this one. The less I say about this one, the better, because if you can go in blind, it's even better. But it's basically them two, they're stuck in these woods with these group of kids and they're just the worst of the worst.
Yeah, I love this film. I saw it once and it's so uncomfortable to watch. Like
You've only seen it once?
Yeah, and I did like it. It's just it's brutal, but not in the sense that it's hard to watch. It's got because it feels real because you've gone camping and these kids feel real, even though they're much worse than the average naughty boy. They are still horrifying and it feels real. But the only bit I don't like is when Michael Fassbender goes over and turns the music down himself. I'm like, oh, you're asking for trouble now, mate. Even I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Would you?
No, definitely not. Yeah, good one. Right, my next pick is The Ritual. Now, I've done this before on a previous one, but I love this movie, and it is a really good camping horror. It's came out 2017, and it stars Ralph Spall as Luke. It's about a group of friends. Their friend dies, and they go to Sweden to sort of honour the dead friend, and they decide to go camping. One of the friends gets injured, so they have to make a detour through like a really dense segment of this this woods that's kind of forbidden almost because nobody goes down there, and it's got religious elements and things like that. They decide to go through. They got no choice. They get lost, and something stalking them, something potentially supernatural. I don't want to give too much away because a lot of people haven't seen it, but this is absolutely brilliant. You've got a little bit of Wicker Man about it. You've got a bit of Blair Witch about it. I've read the book, and like the book, you do really feel lost. You feel like, oh my God, I don't think they're ever going to get out of these woods. They are so horrifying. And yeah, some of these sections have been there like thousands of years and nobody's gone through, and it's absolutely horrifying. The ending is spot on.
Yeah. Really good film. That bit where they wake up in the cabin. One of them's like pissed themselves. One of them's upstairs next to like that wicker statue.
Yeah, so good.
Right, my next pick, I've got 1978's Australian thriller Long Weekend. I'm not sure if you've seen this one, Jenks.
If it was made in 1970, when was it made? 79?
1978.
Yeah, probably not.
That's mental because you're 15 years older than me.
I was born in 79 as well.
But this one, quite similar to Eden Lake, you've got a couple who go out into the Australian woods to go camping, outback woods, whatever you want to call it, to go camping for the weekend. She's very reluctant to go. She wanted to stay in this big fancy 5-star hotel, and he's more of an outdoorsman. He's got his gun and his camping gear, and he's all, set up to the nines. And they are the most obnoxious couple ever. From the moment this movie starts, you will absolutely hate them. Constantly bickering, constantly giving each other dirty looks. Just the worst couple ever. And they get to the place where they're camping, they set up camp and everything, and then they start to disrespect nature and everything around them. So he's firing his gun off into bushes. It hits a duck and blows his head up. He's firing live rounds into the sea. She's spraying all the ants with ant killer. So from the get-go, they're just constantly just not respecting the surrounding they're in. And it basically turns into when nature fights back, right? And these two people, we are not rooting for them. They are not the heroes. We want them to die, right? Because they are awful. It's not one of those movies where you're like, right, nature's going to come and kill them. It's more psychological. It's more about the surrounding that these animals make and how it makes them. It's hard to explain, but there's noises that they make that make them do certain things. And there's a washed up whale type thing on the beach, and it keeps getting closer to their camp.
Right.
It's not a whale, but it's some sort of Australian.
No.
Something like that. Some sort of Australian manatee. So it's more psychological, and it kind of pits them against each other then because of all these elements. It's hard to explain, Jenks. It's a very odd film.
Is it supernatural?
No, but it's more about the powers of the wilderness.
Right. Okay.
As if it was a living being, and they've turned up and they're sitting on it and they're hurting it, so it starts to fight back. Like, the guy does get attacked by a bird at one point, and it's like scramming him and stuff, an eagle, but it is more psychological. I just say it's a really good, well-made thriller. Wouldn't quite class as a horror movie, but it's one of my favourite doomed camping trips movies.
Right, my last pick is the ultimate camping horror. It could be the most famous one, and it's the Blair Witch Project. I know it's a really lazy pick, but I just
Jenks, be more imaginative, man. I've had enough for talking about this film. Like,
so I can't look. You asked to do like a camping one. I was like, well, okay, but I can't not include one of my favorite ones. Anyway, it came out in 1999. It's a found footage movie. It pretty much started the wave of found footage films. Started the wave of horror. I mean, 1999 was a great year of horror. This is one of the best. It's about a group of filmmakers that go into woods camping to make a documentary about the Blair Witch, and they go missing. And we see what happens. So basically, the footage was found. Everyone knows the story. It's one of the most famous horror films ever. I think what would make this even better is if they made a making of the movie, because the way they shot this was incredible. Proper guerrilla filmmaking. They pretended these people were really missing. They made up a website and they pretended their footage was found. They sent these three characters into the woods, and they didn't have any script. They just went to the woods, and then the director was manipulating the surroundings. And then we got 75 minutes of pure horror, and it's still, for me, it still holds up.
Right, my last pick, not necessarily my favourite pick of the three. I didn't really do them in order. I've got them written down and I just chucked out whatever one I wanted. But I've got 1981's Madman. And unlike you, Jenks, I constantly want to be talking about new movies that I haven't mentioned. I use this one as an excuse not to talk about Friday the 13th or Sleepaway Camp or all the really big, well-known camping movies. But Madman for me is a cult classic. A lot of people like myself who are really into 80s slasher movies know this movie, but obviously it's nowhere near as big as I'd say its counterpart, The Burning, which it was almost supposed to be. So this is still one that's quite underground for me, but I think it's a cracking little slasher. Came out in 1981, and you've got the classic tropes. You've got the jock, the comic relief, the fit bird, and they're basically all camp counsellors telling stories around the fire. And one of them tells the story about Madman Mars. Is a guy who lived on these grounds that killed his family, and all the townsmen got together, hung him from a tree. The next day he was gone. It's another Candyman type scenario. If you're in the woods alone at night and you whisper his name, Madman Mars will come back from the dead and hunt you. It's so atmospheric, it's so creepy. They use a lot of blue lighting, they use a lot of fog in the wooded area. Now, it's schlocky as hell, right? It doesn't hold a candle to some of the better-made slasher movies like Halloween and, a lot of the Friday the 13th movies. He doesn't wear a mask, but he's got a grotesque face that looks like a mask, which is, watching it in HD as an adult is a massive put-off, because I used to watch this when I was a kid, and it was the most scariest movie I'd ever seen. It's so dark and creepy. And yeah, they put everything into this one. They wanted it to be the next big slasher movie. Unfortunately, ended up just being one of those, bottom shelf horror VHS movies. It's got great practical effects. It's got a great monster backstory. And if you like your campfire stories, you'll love this one. It's a cracking little slasher.
Yeah, great. Right. Do you agree with our picks? What is your favourite camping horror? Pop up in the comments, and if you love horror, if you love Rant Game, please subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.